Right, hello and welcome, gents. I have the mic on already. I am a fat gay pussy. I did not realize I had the mic on. But this video is on why you should be treating your trading like a business if you are not already. Because if you are not treating your trading the most important thing in your life, should be anyway, for me it is, as a business, your main vehicle of potentially making a lot of money as a business, then you are going to fail. And the ways that you can treat it as a business, I'm going to break down today. But this is, in short, just a video on taking everything more serious. You should be tracking everything within your trading. Let's get a face track on this bitch. You should be tracking every single metric you can within your trading. Now, that goes from data in terms of how your trading is actually performing, but it also goes from your costs versus how much money you're actually making, especially when you've got to the point where you're actually profitable, when you're making money within this game. You need to be making a profit and loss sheet every single month, every single week, every single year, every single payout that you should be getting, you should be tracking. And you should be tracking what your expenses were in evals or education for that month. And you need to be seeing whether you are up or whether you are down, because if you are down, that is something that you need to be looking at. And I understand that you are trading a mechanical model right now, if you are trading TNB. However, if you are constantly blowing and blowing and blowing accounts, okay, look at that, understand how much money you've lost, and then you can see how much money you need to get to be break even. And if you're getting payouts, yes, you should be tracking every single fucking payout and making a percentage split in terms of how much you're looking to put into a live account, and you're saving up. Maybe you haven't put it in there at the moment, but you're saving that up, that pot of money, you're putting it away, you're not spending it on anything stupid. How much you're putting back into the evals in order to scale your capital through prop firms, because prop firms are the highest ROI for you right now. For me as well, for everyone. If you do not have 100K, maybe even 50K, if you do not have 50K, don't put it in a live account. And you can put it in a live account, but it's not higher ROI than prop firms, because you can spend 500 quid on a 100K account and you can get a 10K payout with a 10% gain. Obviously, it's after you pass the account. If you were to get a 10% gain on a 50K personal account, that's only 5K, and you've put in 50K compared to 500. That's why prop firms are obviously the highest ROI for you at the moment, and they are a vehicle in order for you to be able to leapfrog from prop firms into live. And I'm still building up that pot of money. I have not personally got a personal account yet. But I'm building up that pot of money before I then go in, because I just want to save up quite a bit of money before I just chuck it into the personal. And I understand that it can grow, but I'm not going to be trading with an amount of money that I don't think is like worth my time, in all fairness, in all honesty. However, everything that you are spending your money on, outside of trading and inside of trading, you should be tracking. You need to be seeing, not just from your bank balance either going up or down, what your actual profit and loss, how much money you make per month is on the year, on the month, on the week, and seeing what your expenses are. Because I guarantee at the moment, you have some expenses that are complete bullshit, and I did as well. I just got charged like £400 for some subscriptions that I do not even use. Sick. That's made me reevaluate what my subscriptions and what everything is that I'm spending on a month-to-month basis. And for me, I've cut it down and broke it down now. It is basically the only expenses that I have now is obviously living, so rent out here in Bali, and then food, gym, evals, and some bullshit that I want to spend my money on. And that's okay, I've worked it out, and obviously I'm fucking it up in terms of how much money I'm making. But this is something that you need to be looking at, and you need to be working out a percentage of your payouts that you want to be putting back into the game, and how much you actually want to be spending on yourself, because that is the whole point we are doing this, in order to make money, to be able to buy things that are, one, going to set us up in the future, so whether you want to be investing into longer term plays, but also being able to buy things that are complete bullshit, maybe no one else rates, but you rate, and you've wanted it for the longest period of time, and you've just got your 5th payout, something like that, and now you want to buy that. That's completely fine. That's what you should be doing. That is a whole part of the game. But in order to get there, you need to be looking at your trading as a business. You need to be working out, okay, how much on average am I spending per month? How much am I making per month on average? Because trading is not a game of consistency. You are going to need to find an average, because then you're going to have losing months where you don't make any money. You're going to have winning months where you make a lot of money. And maybe you actually lose money on those losing months because of your expenses and everything, and that's completely fine. That's something you're going to have to get used to and understand. But you need to be tracking your trading on every single level possible. Now, not only just on a monetary basis in terms of how much money you're making versus how much money you're spending, but also every single variable within trading, within the way that you are currently trading. So what is your risk to reward gain? The simplest fucking metric you should be tracking. You should also be tracking every single trade that you're taking through journaling. And if you're not doing that, you're an idiot, okay? But the next steps are looking at refining your model through backtesting, okay, through data collection and backtesting, maybe even forward testing if you're gay, and you trade with discretion and emotions. Forward testing is gonna be the one for you. Supposedly, I've been told, wouldn't know. You need to be looking to refine and track every single metric. So when I'm talking about metrics to be tracking, maybe if you use the fib tool, looking at all the different levels, maybe looking at different risk to reward to target, a fixed R, looking at different RR to target, see what actually gives you better results long term. Then you also need to be looking at timings within your trading, because I guarantee there are going to be certain kill windows or certain time windows where your trading is going to have a lower probability, you're going to have a lower win rate, and if you can cut that out, your trading is going to be better, because less is more within your trading. You do not want to be taking the most trades that you can. You want to be selective, you want to be taking your setup, and that setup only, not forcing any trades, not forcing any bullshit. But if you are currently at the point in your trading where you are doing all of this, blah, 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 you are not making money, okay, good. It is just a waiting game for you, and you understand that, but you need to keep consistent with your back testing, with tracking everything, with tracking the money that you're spending, and then you can also see, you can look, okay, so I've spent, for me, I had spent 6K on evals before I made a single penny. So I knew that, okay, I'm 6K down right now. Boom, first payout, okay, getting away, I'm chopping into the amount of money that I spent. Okay, now I knew what I needed to get break even. Obviously I've got break even, but I knew that. So this is something that you should be tracking. And then after that point where you've made more money than you spent, that is when you're actually profitable. Not when you got your first payout. Because when you got your first payout, unless you haven't spent any money, that is nothing, because it could be luck. You could fortunately pass an account and then you could win the first trade. Ooh, payout, boom, I'm profitable. No, you're not. Prove it over a long period of time, in short. But if you're at this point and you're currently doing all of these things within your trading, and you are trading a fully mechanical model, it is just a waiting game. If you are trading a discretionary model, maybe it is a game of psychology, and that is an issue which I see a lot of people face within my friend's Discord, Curly's Discord, because he trades full discretion, inverse fair value gaps. So that is an issue that a lot of people face, because you are making the decision day in and day out whether you take the trade or not. So that is something that you might have to address, and that might be the reason why you're failing. So if that is something that you have to be looking at, even in mechanical trading with the hybrid model, you could experience some psychology issues. As long as you don't let it affect your trading, that is completely fine. But again, bringing it back to treating it like a business, if psychology is an issue that you face, then you need to be journaling your psychology every single day. You need to be journaling more than someone who's trading fully mechanical. And that's completely fine. That's the route that you've chosen to go down, but that is something that you're gonna have to deal with and you're gonna have to manage. Okay, fine. If you're willing to do that and you wanted to do that, that is completely okay. But you need to, again, like a business, you need to be almost training yourself like you would train your staff, like any company, train yourself to the point of there is zero way that you can fucking fail, okay? So what does that look like? That looks like doing the back testing. That looks like making sure you are executing your model day in and day out, no issues, no stupid mistakes, no nothing, and also your habits off of the charts. This is so important. You need to be looking at keeping yourself fit. You need to have good habits. You need to not be a degen who's drinking every single night, as you are going to fail. I guarantee you'll fail if you're a degen who's drinking every night. That is inevitable. Yes, you can enjoy yourself, blah, 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 blah. However, everything off of the charts, I'm a fucking pussy. Voice break. Everything off of the charts needs to be dialed in just as much as on the charts. And you boys should know this by now, but that is exactly why you should be treating your trading like a business and actually being more serious about your trading, because you should not just be full porting your accounts because they're an eval and you can just reset it and buy another. No, that's another expense that you're gonna have to make. So what the fuck are you doing? You need to take everything more serious. This is your vehicle of making money. If you actually want to take it serious and you know deep down you actually want to play this game long term, then you need to take it more serious. And that is what will level up your trading. Track everything, do the most things that you can in order to make your trading better. And it may not directly correlate. However, I guarantee being in a better mood, making sure that you are fit and healthy and the best version of yourself is going to make you more successful long term within your trading and outside of your trading. But that is everything from me today, boys. So take care, peace, love, and unity. I will see you in the next one.